Well, in the mid-1990s, the child abuse and neglect rate in Marion and Polk counties was just skyrocketing. So the State Commission on Children and Families wrote a grant to the federal government asking for money to start a relief nursery to serve the two counties. And because of the horrendous statistics, they received the grant. And as soon as they received it, they called Deanna Smith, who was a wonderful community leader, and myself, and asked if we would put a board of directors together to launch a relief nursery. And so Deanna and I called Dick and had lunch with him, and the rest, I guess, is history.
It's very significant that we do this at an early age, and that was new to me. I didn't understand that the brain development was almost completed at 80% at the third year of life. There's a sense of urgency there to intervene at-risk children. You only have 3 years to really make a difference, so we just need to really push and help as many families as we can.
Randy Franke, who was then on the Marion County Commission, one of the commissioners, and I went down to Eugene to see the relief nursery, and the model was that to prevent child abuse and neglect, you needed to work with the parents as well as the children. So we went down, saw what the relief nursery did with home visiting and therapeutic classrooms for the children, and came back very inspired and committed to trying to start one up here in Marion Polk counties.
I can remember we were sitting at Willamette University with Brian Johnson, Gladys Blum, Gary Kaufman, Sue, myself, and a couple other people, figuring out what to do about the relief nursery, and we needed to find a place.
We wanted to be downtown for a whole variety of reasons, and then First Methodist Church was willing to let us remodel their basement.
Prime example of the community coming together. We would move in on Monday, move out on Friday, and then they would reconstruct the downstairs for their facility, for their worship services.
Family Building Blocks taught me a lot of skills, making sure that I was doing the right thing and without worrying about what my past was. They just were supportive and always positive. The Family Building Block holiday Christmas party that they had, I was very impressed. They had gifts for both of us. We had a Polaroid picture taken, and then we put it in a round ornament that I still have for the Christmas tree. The dried noodles are falling off now since it's been so long. Family Building Blocks makes everybody feel loved, no matter what your circumstances are or the reason why you are in their program. That is the most important thing for any child to know, that they're loved.
We had run out of room at the Methodist Church.
And so here we are, brand new, and we had this great need. We were not going to wait 4, 5, 6, 8 years until everything was optimum. We were going to push.
And that's when Dick made a very landmark phone call.
Jack and Pam Scott and the great people who've been in the community forever sat down in their living room, and Pam says, you know, Dick and Sue, we decided to do this. I don't think without that gift we would be right where we are today.
And then we needed to raise $1 million. And this was in December that the papers were signed. And once again, Dick said, we need to open in September. Now, anybody who knows construction knows that was a totally ridiculous, unrealistic time frame. And we opened September 4th. So once again, community just really stepped up and showed that this is a community that cares about children and families.
The goal was not raising the money. The goal was to be open on September. The goal was to make a difference with this unserved waiting list, and the money was inconsequential.
Family Building Blocks was established to serve Marion and Polk counties, and therefore we knew we wanted to have a physical presence in Polk County when we had grown large enough to be able to do that. And we heard that the former U.S. Bank building was for sale. The board decided that it wanted to acknowledge and recognize Dick and Gail's amazing involvement and commitment to Family Building Blocks and children. And that was how the name came about, Gracie's Place, because Gracie was Dick's mother's name.
My mother was an opportunist. Anything I wanted to try, she says, go ahead and do it. You can do it. You can do it. And that's what the Relief Nursery is. Relief Nursery is giving opportunity for at-risk children and families to become very productive and have a well-meaning life.
There were three elements for Family Building Blocks to have established itself as a top-notch organization serving young children and families. One was we had an incredibly engaged board of directors. Secondly, we had outstanding staff. And then thirdly was, of course, community support. What we know is that the need will not go away. And Family Building Blocks really tries, its niche is to get into and working with the family before the tragedy happens, before the abuse happens. And families are always going to struggle. So having a relief nursery, Family Building Blocks there to intervene early, that's the key.